They laughed when I was hurting. They thought I'd fall apart. Their words, their betrayal, and their actions were meant to destroy me, but they didn't know every scar they left made me stronger. Those wounds, they turned into my armor. Now what they thought would break me has become my biggest strength. Their laughter, it only gave me more fire to rise. Life isn't kind. It doesn't care about how much you've already been through. It keeps hitting you, testing you, pushing you to your limits. The scars you carry, whether visible or hidden, are proof of the battles you've fought. Some people might see them as weaknesses, as reminders of your pain, but they're wrong. Scars are not signs of defeat, they're signs of survival. They show that no matter how hard life hit, you didn't give up. Think about it. Every time they tried to bring you down, you stood back up. Every betrayal, every failure, every moment of heartbreak, it all made you tougher, even if it didn't feel like it at the time. Those scars tell a story. They tell the world that you've faced the fire and walked through it. And now, those same scars are what make you unstoppable. They thought they broke you, but all they did was prepare you for what's next. Why do scars make people uncomfortable? Why do they try to hide them, cover them up, or act like they're something to be ashamed of? Maybe it's because scars are a reminder of pain, of struggle, of the moments that didn't go as planned. But here is the real question. What if your scars are not something to hide? What if they're your greatest strength? Think about this: every insult, every betrayal, every failure, every single time someone hurt you or let you down, you are still here. You are still standing. Those scars are proof that you survived. They show that no matter how hard it got, you didn't quit. So, why should you see them as weaknesses? What if they're not reminders of what broke you, but evidence of what built you? Here is the thing. The world tries to convince you that your scars make you less than others. But what if they're wrong? What if the very thing you've been told to hide is the reason you are stronger than you've ever been? Ask yourself this: are you going to keep letting your past hold you back, or will you use it to push yourself forward? The choice is yours. Pain. It's funny, isn't it? People are so scared of it. They'll do anything to avoid it, pretend it's not there, or blame someone else for it. But here is the joke. Pain is the one thing in this world you can't escape. It finds you, no matter how fast you run or how high you hide, and when it does, it leaves its mark. Scars. But scars are misunderstood. Most people see them and think, poor thing, they've been through so much. They don't get it. Scars aren't a sign of weakness. They're a sign of strength. You've been hurt, yes, but you've also healed. You've been knocked down, but you got back up. Scars don't mean you were broken, they mean you refused to stay broken. You see, the world is full of people who want to break you. They're terrified of someone who can take the hits and still smile. Someone who turns every insult, every betrayal, every bit of pain into fuel. That's what scars do. They remind you that you've already survived worse. They make you fearless because you know pain can't control you anymore. Here is the punchline. They thought they were hurting you. They thought they were ending you. But all they did was sharpen you, toughen you, prepare you for the fight ahead. That's the truth about scars. They're not the end of your story. They're just the beginning of your strength. Pain is part of life. It's not something you can avoid, no matter how hard you try. But here is the truth: most people don't want to hear pain has a purpose. It's not there to destroy you. It's there to teach you, to shape you, to prepare you for what's ahead. Think about it. When does growth happen? Not when everything is easy and comfortable. Growth happens in the struggle, in the moments when you feel like giving up but choose to keep going. Pain is a test. It pushes you, breaks you down, and forces you to rebuild yourself into something stronger. Every time you endure pain, you become tougher. Every time you face it head on, you take one step closer to the version of yourself that can't be stopped. Pain also opens your eyes. It shows you who's real and who's fake, who stands by you and who walks away. It teaches you about resilience, about patience, and about the power of never giving up. Pain sharpens your mind and strengthens your will. It reminds you of what truly matters and what's worth fighting for. So don't fear pain, don't run from it. Let it do what it's meant to make you stronger, smarter, and ready for anything. Pain is not your enemy, it's your teacher. Pain is like fire. When it touches you, it burns. It leaves a mark that you feel long after the flames are gone. But fire isn't just destruction, it's also transformation. It purifies, it strengthens, it turns raw metal into steel. That's what pain does. It's the heat that forges you into something unbreakable. Think about a diamond. It doesn't start as something precious. It's just a lump of coal buried under pressure so intense that it changes. The coal could have cracked, but instead it became something priceless. Your pain is that pressure, and your scars are proof that you are on the path to becoming something greater. Here is another way to see it. Imagine a tree growing in the harshest conditions, scarred by wind, rain, and storms. It doesn't break, it bends. Its roots dig deeper, its trunk grows stronger, and it stands tall long after the storm has passed. Those scars on its bark, they tell the story of survival. And then T here is the warrior's shield. Every scratch and dent on it isn't a flaw, it's proof of battles fought and survived. Your scars are the same. They show the world that you've been through the fight and come out stronger. You are not broken, you are forged, you are still standing, and you are ready for whatever comes next. Pain changes you. It doesn't ask for permission, and it doesn't wait for you to be ready. It just happens. But here is the part most people miss. It's not the pain itself that defines you. It's what you do with it. That's where transformation begins. Think about every time you've been hurt, every betrayal, every failure, every heartbreak. At first, it feels like the world is ending. You question yourself, wonder if you are strong enough, and maybe even think about giving up. But then, something shifts. Slowly, you start to rebuild. Piece by piece, you take the pain and use it as fuel to become something strong. This is the power of scars. They don't just mark the pain, they mark your growth. They're proof that you've faced the fire and come out on the other side. You are no longer the person who was hurt. You are someone who learned, who adapted, who survived. The pain didn't break you, it built you into something tougher, sharper, and smarter. It's like a phoenix rising from the ashes. The old version of you may have been burned, but what came out of that fire is stronger, bolder, and more unstoppable than ever. Pain doesn't just leave scars, it leaves lessons. And those lessons, they're your strength now. The world wants to define you by your scars, to label you as broken. But your scars tell a different story. They say, I survived, I endured, I thrived. That's what personal transformation is all about, not pretending the pain didn't happen, but using it to create a version of yourself that no one can tear down. This is your power now. The pain they gave you has turned into the weapon they'll never see coming. In Japan, tea here is an art called kintsugi. It's the process of repairing broken pottery with gold. The cracks and fractures are not hidden, they're highlighted. The idea is simple. Something that's been broken can become even more beautiful when it's put back together. Its flaws become part of its story, and its story becomes its strength. Your scars are your kintsugi. They're not something to cover up or feel ashamed of. They're proof that you've been through something and that you came out the other side. The cracks in your heart, the wounds in your mind, they're where the light gets in. They're what make you unique, what make you strong. Most people want to look flawless, like they've never been hurt. But you are not hiding. You wear your scars like the gold in kintsugi. They tell the world, I've been through the fire, and I've come back stronger. Each scar has a story behind each, a lesson you learned, a moment that shaped you, a battle you won. If broken pottery can become a masterpiece with its cracks filled with gold, then so can you. Your scars don't make you less, they make you more. You are not broken. You are rebuilt, refined, and stronger than ever. Your scars are your strength, your beauty, your gold. Wear them proudly. Look at yourself for a moment. Think about everything you've been through, the moments that hurt you, the people who let you down, the times when you thought you couldn't keep going. You are still here. That means something. It means you are stronger than every single thing that tried to break you. Every scar you carry, whether it's on your skin or in your heart, is proof that you didn't quit. It's proof that when life hit you, you got back up. It's proof that even when the world tried to drag you down, you refused to stay down. And that's what makes you different. That's what makes you powerful. Think about this. If you've already survived the worst days of your life, what can stop you now? The pain you've been through hasn't weakened you, it's prepared you. Every insult, every rejection, every betrayal, every failure, they weren't the end of your story. They were the start of your strength. So stop doubting yourself. Stop hiding your scars like they're something to be ashamed of. They're not. They're your badge of honor, your proof of resilience. They show the world that no matter what happens, you'll always rise. You are not just surviving, you are thriving. You are stronger now than you've ever been. And the best part? This is only the beginning. Why is it that people fear pain and scars so much? Why do they act like they're the end of the road, like they're some kind of defeat? The truth is, scars don't make you weak, they make you powerful. And that's exactly what scares people who've never faced the kind of battles you've been through. Here is the challenge. Are you going to let the world convince you that your scars are a burden, or will you show them that your scars are your proof of strength? The people who try to break you, the ones who mock your pain, they do it because they're afraid of what you could become. They see your potential, even when you don't, and that terrifies them. Think about it, why else would they try so hard to tear you down? They want you to stay small, to stay broken, because your rise would remind them of everything they're too scared to face. But that's their problem, not yours. Your scars are not a weakness. They're a challenge to the world, a statement that says, I've been through hell, and I am still standing. So ask yourself, are you going to let their fear stop you? Or are you going to use the strength you've built through your pain to become unstoppable? The choice is yours. Show them what real power looks like. Show them what it means to rise, no matter how many times you've been knocked down. Scars intimidate people. They make them uncomfortable. Why? Because scars are a sign of strength, a reminder that you've survived what others couldn't. They tell a story of resilience, and that's something most people fear, someone who can take the hits and keep moving forward. When they see your scars, they see their own weakness reflected back at them. They wonder, if this person could endure so much and still be standing, what does that say about me? That's why they try to downplay your struggles, make your scars seem insignificant, or even mock them. It's not because your scars bother them, it's because your strength does. Your scars tell the world, I've been through battles and I've won. They show that you are not afraid of pain, that you've faced it and come out stronger. And that kind of strength, it's rare. It's threatening. It makes people who've never been tested feel small. But that's not your problem. Your scars aren't for them. They're for you. They're a reminder that no matter what life throws at you, you'll find a way to rise. Let them stare. Let them be intimidated. Because your scars are proof that you've survived storms they wouldn't even dare to face. And that kind of power is unstoppable. Scars are like the rings of a tree. Every year, as the tree grows, it faces storms, droughts, and harsh winds. And with each challenge, it grows a new ring, stronger, thicker, more resilient than the last. If you were to cut that tree open, those rings would tell its story. They'd show the battles it survived, and how each one made it stronger. Your scars are your rings. They're proof of the challenges you've faced and the strength you've gained from them. Or think of a sword. When it's forged, it doesn't start as a weapon. It's just a piece of raw metal. But to become a blade, it has to go through fire, beaten and shaped by hammer blows. Only then does it emerge sharp and ready for battle. Your life is no different. The pain you've endured, the struggles you've faced, that was your fire. Those were your hammer blows. And now, you are the blade. Here is another. Scars are like the cracks in a rock. At first glance, they seem like flaws, but over time, water seeps into those cracks. It freezes, expands, and eventually splits the rock wide open. Your scars are the cracks in the wall of life. They don't show weakness. They show where you broke through. Each of these analogies carries the same truth. Scars don't weaken you. They're evidence of how strong you've become. Darkness is where most people stop. It's where they give up, where they let fear take over. But here is the truth. Darkness isn't the end. It's where resilience is born. It's where you find out what you are truly made of. Think about the night sky. It's only in the darkest nights that stars shine the brightest. Without the darkness, their light wouldn't be visible. Your life works the same way. The struggles, the setbacks, the pain, they feel overwhelming in the moment, like the darkness is closing in. But that's when you have to push forward. That's when your resilience starts to grow. Every time you've been hurt, every time you've faced rejection, you've had a choice. Give in to the darkness or fight through it. And the fact that you are still standing means you chose to fight. It means you've already proven that you are stronger than the things that tried to break you. The world doesn't stop being hard, but you don't stop growing either. Resilience isn't about avoiding the darkness. It's about knowing that no matter how bad it gets, you'll find your way through. It's about becoming so strong that the darkness doesn't scare you anymore. So when the world tries to bury you in shadows, remember this: darkness isn't your enemy. It's your proving ground. And every time you rise from it, you become something stronger, tougher, and more unshakable than before. It's easy to say, use your pain to get stronger. But how do you actually do it? Here is how you take the hurt, the anger, the frustration, and turn it into something that works for you instead of against you. First, focus on growth. Whatever you've been through, use it as a reason to build yourself up. Start small if you have to. Learn a new skill, work on your health, or improve something you've always wanted to be better at. Every step you take forward, no matter how small, is a step away from the pain and towards something better. Second, channel your emotions. Pain and anger are powerful energies. Instead of letting them control you, use them to fuel your actions. Feeling angry, put that energy into working hard. Feeling hurt, let it push you to prove everyone wrong. Your emotions are not your weakness, they're your fuel. Finally, stop comparing yourself to others. Everyone's scars are different. Focus on your own journey. What matters isn't how far others have come, it's how far you've come since yesterday. Progress is progress, no matter how small. Pain doesn't have to hold you back. Use it to push forward. Start where you are with what you have and keep moving. Every day you get stronger, and one day the pain will just be part of the story, not the whole story. They thought you'd break. They thought the pain they caused would stop you. But they didn't realize one thing: pain doesn't destroy people like you. It sharpens you. Every scar, every failure, every betrayal wasn't a defeat, it was a lesson. And those lessons, they've turned you into something unstoppable. Remember this: the world doesn't reward the ones who crumble. It rewards the ones who rise. So let them laugh, let them doubt, let them think they've won. Because while they were watching you fall, you were learning how to stand taller. And now you are stronger than you've ever been. Your scars don't make you less. They make you more. They tell a story no one can take away from you, a story of resilience, of power, of someone who refused to quit. Wear them like armor. Let them see what they tried to destroy and failed. Let them see what survival looks like. They broke you, but they didn't win. You are here, and that's proof enough that nothing they do can stop you. Pain isn't your enemy, it's your weapon. And now it's time to use it to become everything they said you couldn't be. It's time to stop waiting. Stop waiting for someone to fix things for you. Stop waiting for the pain to go away on its own. Stop waiting for the perfect moment to change your life. The truth is, here is no perfect moment. The only time you have is right now. Look at your scars. They're not just marks on your body or memories in your mind. They're proof that you've survived, that you've already overcome things most people would crumble under. You've made it this far, and stop now. Use those scars. Let them remind you of your strength. Let them be the fuel that drives you to build the life you deserve. Start today. Take one step forward. It doesn't matter how small that step is, it only matters that you take it. Turn your anger into action, your hurt into hunger, and your pain into power. Prove to yourself, not to anyone else, that you are capable of more than anyone ever thought possible. You've already survived what was meant to break you. Now it's time to thrive. Build yourself up, piece by piece. Take every failure, every rejection, every betrayal, and let it push you forward instead of holding you back. You have the strength inside you to change everything. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the pain to fade. Take control of your story. You are not a victim. You are the author of your life, and your scars are just the beginning of a story that will inspire others. It's time to rise. It's time to show the world what real strength looks like. Now, go and write your next chapter. The pen is in your hands. They thought they broke me. They thought the scars they left would keep me down forever. But here is the twist: they didn't break me. They built me. Every wound they gave me, every piece of pain they threw my way, it didn't end me. It turned me into something they never expected. It turned me into their worst nightmare. You see, I stopped fearing the pain. I stopped running from it. Instead, I let it shape me. Every insult, every betrayal, every failure, it all became a part of me. They thought they were cutting me apart. But what they didn't realize was that every cut was sharpening me. Every blow was forging me. And now, I am not afraid of the hammer anymore. I am the blade. They wanted to see me fall, but now they have to watch me rise. And the best part, my scars, the ones they thought would shame me, are now my crown. They tell my story. They scream to the world that I survived, that I endured, and that I've come back stronger than ever. So let them laugh, let them mock, because while they're stuck in their fear, I am standing here, stronger, sharper, and unstoppable. My scars aren't my weakness. They're my greatest weapon. And now, I am ready to use them. You've been through more than most people can imagine. The pain, the struggles, the betrayals, they tried to break you. But they didn't. You are still here. You are still standing. And that alone makes you powerful. Think about everything you've already overcome. Every time you thought you couldn't take another step, but you did. Every time life knocked you down, but you got back up. You've already proven that you are stronger than the things that tried to stop you. So why doubt yourself now? Why let the scars they gave you hold you back when they could be the reason you move forward? The truth is, you don't need anyone's approval. You don't need anyone to believe in you. The strength you are looking for is already inside you. Your scars are the proof. They're the reminder that no matter what happens, no matter how hard it gets, you'll find a way to rise. You've done it before, and you'll do it again. So let go of the fear, the doubt, the hesitation. They have no place in your life anymore. The pain they gave you, it's not your burden, it's your power. You are not just surviving, you are thriving. And the best revenge, the ultimate victory, is to take every scar they gave you and use it to build a life they can't even imagine. This is your moment. This is your time to rise. Take your pain, your scars, and your strength and show the world what unstoppable really looks like. You've got this. You always have. Now go and prove it. Take a moment to think about everything you've been through. The hurt, the setbacks, the moments you thought you wouldn't make it. They weren't easy, and no one will ever truly understand what it took for you to survive. But here is the thing you did. You survived. You are still here. Life doesn't spare anyone from pain. It doesn't care who you are or what you've been through. But what sets you apart is how you've chosen to face it. The scars you carry are not signs of failure. They're proof of resilience. Proof that when the world tried to knock you down, you stood up anyway. You've come so far from where you started, and yes, the pain changed you, but it didn't destroy you. In fact, it made you stronger, wiser, and braver than you were before. Those scars you've been trying to hide, they're not flaws, they're badges of honor, reminders of how far you've come and how much you've grown. You've already endured so much, and yet here you are, stronger than ever. So, don't be afraid of what's ahead. You've proven time and time again that nothing can stop you. Look at your scars and let them remind you of who you are: a fighter, a survivor, someone who never gives up. That's who you've always been. Every scar they gave you was their mistake. Every wound they left behind was their attempt to stop you. But they didn't understand who they were dealing with. You are not someone who gives up. You are not someone who breaks easily. You are someone who turns pain into power. Your scars aren't something to be ashamed of, they're proof of your strength. They're a reminder that no matter how many times you've been knocked down, you always get back up. And every time you rise, you become stronger, sharper, and more unstoppable than before. So, let the world see your scars. Wear them with pride. Let them tell your story, a story of resilience, survival, and victory. Because the truth is, the pain they thought would end you has become the fire that fuels you. The scars they left behind are now your strongest weapon. You are not defined by what happened to you. You are defined by what you did with it. And now, it's your turn to rise higher, go further, and prove to yourself that nothing and no one can stop you. Your scars are your power, your strength, your proof that you are, and always will be, unstoppable.